The French have some fine tastes and make some of the classiest products to feature on your social media influencer streams. I mean, so do the Italians, the Japanese, probably the Croatians, and, definitely the Slavs, but specifically for this video, the French. So when fellow YouTuber and Instagrammer Alex Knifebox, who as these things go is linked in the description, when he decided to send me one of the finest pieces of French cutlery he's ever come across, I was real excited. So now I'm proud to introduce to most of you for the first time, I'm sure, even though it's been out for a few years, the elegant Wild Steer WX. Man, what the fuck? The Wild Steer WX, it's like a bunch of France men sat around a sec and decided to make Tactical America to sell to Tactical Americans. Tactical, of course, is always a euphemism for another word. If you don't believe me, France is written in English, isn't it? Looks like French to me. Of course, the only flaw in this scheme is that they didn't get China to make it. But before we go any further, let's look at the dimensions, like the overall length and weight, with and without the sheath, like the person who buys this gives a flying fuck. Ignore those other parts there that you see. I didn't include them in the weight, of course, other than the sheath. Blade size and cutting edge. Got that tanto for the old stab pry part of your dumb knife video. Handle size and grip area. Of course, the stab pry comes right after the set up your camera in the most outdoorsy looking part of your backyard, part of wilderness survival. Spine thickness and handle thickness. But before you do any of that, you got to make the kids watch TV so you can film your damn video. That part of wilderness survival. Tallness is. Personally, I like the drinking part of wilderness survival the best. Well, we've made it this far, folks, so let's continue. The Wild Steer WX is a knife that probably missed a fun opportunity to be called the cowpoke. Is a big-ass folding knife that whispers to you as you walk through the woods, maybe you should have just brought the Leatherman, or the Essie, or just a bottle of the brown liquor. You're at your best when you're drinking the brown liquor. The blade on this work of art is made from a stainless steel known as X46 CR13, which is how you say 440C in French. A very uncommon steel in most modern knives, costing $257. Now, tanto grinds nowadays are generally ornamental, unless your opponent brought their plate armor but forgot their sword. It's a good strong piercer. Now, I don't know how many owners this knife has changed hands through. I'd guess a lot, but it's still pretty sharp. And that's how you assess steel on internet knife videos, folks. The lockup. Now, I don't know if the Wild Steer was inspired by the hawks, the knife maker, not the bird, but it's possible. I knew I wanted to be a knife maker when I saw the Marksman on my Instagram. If you ever said I like the SLS lock found on the Marksman, but just wish there was some more bullshit involved, then you found your lock, folks. Pull the blade open, it snaps, then lock the lock with the secondary lock, or lever, knob, nub. I've found that once the blade snaps, you often need to push the primary lever here a little more for the secondary lever to lock against the primary one. Then next, close it by doing the opposite. First move the secondary, then secondly disengage the primary. While you are applying pressure to the primary, finally close the blade. It's that simple. The handle. If I said it's just as comfortable as it looks, can we call it a day? Okay, no. It's not why you're paying me. While most of the edges of the handle have been tumbled, and it was a real good effort, there's still kind of a lot of owie parts. It's a combination of thin and lumpy parts, something you would never want to describe a person as, but it still could be accurate, right? The lock and finger groove area has all sorts of fun edges, and depending on how you hold the knife, this section is a hot spot producer, inclusive of all grip styles. Is it the top of the pointer finger or the squishy underside of the middle finger? $257 will help you find out. Then there's the lumpy lanyard in the back. Sometimes my pinky gets a little uncomfortable. Sometimes it's my palm. The sheath, it's an open pouch, Molly compatible, belt compatible, I guess brown liquor compatible, Wild Steer compatible. The knife and accessories go in. You know what? Maybe they don't. Fill it with granola bars instead. The two accessories seen here are the blade guard, which is used to protect your hands when you use one of the other accessories with a knife. That doesn't sound fun. And then here's the wire cutter. It hooks into this part, and I guess you can snap wires with it. I just bring a Leatherman, honestly, if I'm carrying 9 ounces of a just knife, and then all the additional accessories. Comparisons. Since I don't really have a knife quite like this one, let's just throw a bunch of random bullshit in this section and call it outdoor alternatives. First alternative, how about the SC3? There might be a certain school of thought called logic that if your folding blade weighs more than a fixed blade and doesn't have a pocket clip, and you're not trying to save space, why not bring a fixed blade? The SC3 is a fine knife, and it's pretty durable, and it has a killer warranty. Okay, how about a multi-tool, the Leatherman Surge? This is one of the bigger Leathermans. It features a big-ass set of pliers you can cut wires. Also, the knife, a screwdriver, opens beers. What's not to like? To be fair, though, you can probably open a beer with one of the many edges or weird knobs on the Wild Steer WX. And in honor of the Cold Steel Andrew Demko hosted video where the Espada stole your girlfriend and the WX's prom date, then took him home and banged him in front of you, here is a Cold Steel Broken Skull. Barely over 3 ounces. It's a large blade. Very sensible, lightweight choice for an outdoor knife. Nice steel for $70. It's like the cheapest thing in here now. All right, let's wrap it up, but also whoop up on the Wild Steer. Now I shoot these out of order. Sometimes I beat the knife, then write the script. Sometimes I knife the script, then beat it. Of course, there's ample internet evidence that shows this is a strong, ugly knife, and I don't expect anything I can do to it can change it. Mr. Demko kicked its ass in the Cold Steel online training video for how not to use your knife, how you really should use your knife. Thanks to Alex for loaning me this knife, and thanks to the French for truly finally getting America. This knife means a lot to us. My mother once said if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, which would cut down to me speaking in articles and probably just saying hi. And you guys don't want that, do you? Oh, you know what? I'm seeing some hands there. Okay, well, let's do it. Here's something nice. You probably won't break the Wild Steer. I mean, I didn't break it, but I did loosen up the locking mechanism, and now the levers just move easily into place without much effort. Did I improve it? I think I improved it. I'm just kidding. This knife is unimprovable. Wow, that just flowed right off the tongue. I like it. What's it called? Is this how you get sponsorships? You know, I'm really liking the new WX. I didn't think I would, but it may be my new favorite EDC from Wild Steer. Oh God, what happened? What happened there? I think I blacked out for a second. Okay, Wild Steer. What else? Wild Steer sounds like a Cinemax movie you stayed up late watching during a period of adolescent self-discovery. Oh, and did you know they also make a handy attachment for getting arrows out of trees? That's cool. It attaches to it, and apparently it's not called an axe. Here are my patrons. A big thanks to these knife bros. They make the channel possible with their weekly donations, so think about signing up for Patreon. And please subscribe to Alex on YouTube, and is much better than my Instagram. He also has a podcast, which puts my one video a week to a shame. So like, subscribe, comment, Patreon me. Look for me to start shilling t-shirts and stickers in a couple of weeks. Not good t-shirts and stickers, but definitely those things. And I swear to God, if you don't follow Alex on YouTube and Instagram, each and every one of you is going to get a big, steaming Wild Steer in your stocking come Christmas time. I mean, I think you will, unless you don't believe in Santa. Also, next week you may not see a video from me. It's not because I died from a freak 4th of July accident, although that may eventually be the way the good Lynn takes me. It isn't from a freak knife accident. I'm in your hands, Lynn. Thanks for watching.